Well guys, welcome back to the Monster Bass channel. My name's Tyler Berger. I'm out here doing a little buzzbait fishing today. Super excited. I love a buzzbait. It's just, to me, it's one of the best baits simply because a buzzbait can work in really hot water. You know, we think about it a lot of times when it's summertime, but it also can be very good in cold water. I've actually caught fish on a buzzbait in water temperatures 48 degrees before. So that's one of the best things I really love about a buzzbait. The other thing is that it catches really big fish. If you fished a lot of buzzbaits, you know that you may go days where you're not getting a ton of bites, but the ones that you get are good ones. So it's really something that every bass fisherman should kind of have a handle on. And today, I really want to talk about buzzbaits that are head-knocking buzzbaits and ones that aren't, because there's a big difference when you're going to fish those ones that are more silent and the ones that are actually considered a head knocker. So as you guys know, this is your buzzbait right here. It's a very simple lure. It has a blade. It's one that we've all started to fish with. Now, the thing is that some buzzbaits are considered head-knocking buzzbaits and some are not. Now, basically, buzzbaits that are head knockers, they actually will have a blade. As you can see here, the shaft of this buzzbait is actually a little bit shorter, and that blade is really in line with the head of that bait. And the reason you call it a head knocker is when you reel this through the water, that blade is gonna just gently hit the head or knock the head, and that's why it's a head knocker. Now, there are a lot of buzzbaits that are actually made not to do that. And there are times when I'm going to fish the head knocker, and there are times when I'm not going to fish the head knocker. And today we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. So situations that I like to have a head knocker, one that is loud, is really when I'm fishing in loud conditions. I try to make this really simple in bass fishing because it can be so complicated, but when you get to the lake and the water is what I consider loud, is going to be if it's windy out, or if you have cloudy conditions, or even if you have stained water. So in those situations, it's very easy. You're just gonna simply bend your blade back down, and you don't want it to absolutely crush the top of this head because it will actually get stuck right there. You want it to barely just be touching. You can actually, what I've seen is be just a hair above it, but when it's in the water, that's what's gonna help that blade to hit that head and create that noise. As fishermen, it's easy for us to just spend a bunch of money on a bunch of different lures, but having a buzzbait that basically you can have kind of the best of both worlds, one that is a head knocker and one that is silent, is really important for me for a number of reasons. One, it's gonna save me money, but two, as a fisherman, sometimes you just go around the corner and all of a sudden there's a shade line or the breeze picks up. And so to have a bait that I can modify literally within a second and just push it down or pull it up is really gonna allow me to catch fish and be a lot more efficient out there on the water without having to sit down and retie baits. So a lot of guys think that with a buzzbait, it's just a cast out and reel in type of bait, and that's actually not the case. So a couple of things that you can do is, one, fish it fast or fish it slow. When I'm fishing cold water, I tend to fish it slower. In the summer, when it's hot, I tend to fish it a little bit faster. Now, one thing that I really like to do is what I call popping a buzzbait. So as I'm reeling it, every now and then, I'm gonna pop my rod tip very slightly, or you can simply speed your reel up and it's gonna just spit a little bit of water. And I've seen on days, actually there was a day I was fishing Lake Norman where every fish hit it after that little spit like that. So that is one thing you wanna always do with your buzzbaits. Now, another thing is modifying the bait, and you wanna know when to knock and when to not knock.